This video is sponsored by Loop Elements Pro. Make all your loops great again and do it with 10% off at the checkout. Enter the coupon code that's down in the description and in the comment section. All right, let's get into this video.
So like as you were saying, so as you was telling me about it, I think this is the power play right here. I really want you to really explain deep about this, because this, of all the things, this was the thing that impressed me the most, because it can, having USB-C is paramount first, because when you look at all of the other companies, you know, no matter who it is, MIDI controllers included, you know, they're still using the OG USB, you know, I think it is, like big jack printer cable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the entire industry, like computer wise, had even Windows, Mac, all of that is switched to USB-C. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having USB-C on the back is just out the gate is a game changer, because now you're setting yourself up for the future compatibility, but it also just makes it simple. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that you were telling me that it's splitting out. I really want to hone in on this, because this is what really blew me away, was that it's splitting out all of the different sections. And the other question I have with that, if you can answer this for me, because I didn't get this clarity. If you're using Main Stage, or you're using Ableton, or you're using whatever, even, you know, whatever live situation, can you split those audio signals out into different software as well? So if I'm using Ableton, if I'm using Main Stage, if I'm using any other kind of live host where I got all of my VST sounds in conjunction with my hardware sounds, and I got a whole setup, can I split can I split my organ into channel 3 and split my EP and my synths? Can I do that so I can have the utmost control via software and hardware?
The quick answer is yes. The quick answer, yes. Now what John is asking about, that's big boy programming.
That's the nerdy stuff I care about.
Yeah,
I care
about
the
nerdy programming.
I care about
well,
that.
you know,
Yes, sir. I can't wait to talk about it.
No. And I say that because I've had guys that tell me, you know, they're like, well, that's not intuitive. And I'm like, no, you're talking about big boy programming. The guys, the guys that's why you get paid. You know, you don't just play sounds. We're talking about controlling rigs and having V-Stage or Phantom. Change your V drums, change your digital other things. That's the next. That's that cat that goes on the tours and he has the computer and he runs the show basically. So let's get right in. Let's get right in. Yeah, let's get right into this. I'm gonna switch my screen. Check this out. So let's get right into that. I got something for you. So
show it to us, Ed.
Come on, Ed.
I'm excited. I'm excited. What is this? What is this?
We got
Ableton.
No, that's Ableton.
All right.
Ableton.
Come on.
Okay,
That's Ableton.
He changed his color scheme.
So check it out. I'm gonna go right over here, and like I said, hold on. I'm switching around a bunch of stuff. All right. So let's go here. The tail of the tape right there. All right, gentlemen. So, you know, I just went for you guys in our, kind of new at this, and, but you advanced guys, I went into my Ableton preferences right here, and I can see I'm using the V-Stage, and what does it say there? It says 18 in, 4 out over USB-C.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
Come on, man.
Take it. So right now, if we did the USB-C audio compliant, we get 2 in and 2 out, which is fine.
Right.
You know, that's fine. But now when you download the Roland driver, you get this. All right, let's take a close look at this. Okay, what does this mean, 18 in, 18 out? All right, so let's look at the output first. The output means I can route anything from Ableton to my main or my sub. So I think at NAMM we were talking about you guys have like a backing track. And I know Mike with the gospel backing tracks that you do.
Yeah.
If you're using Ableton, guys, you could route Mike's tracks to the sub out, so you have control over that, over the overall sound of the keyboard. That's
kind of wild.
Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, because it's just cool. It's just cool. So that's just the outs, and I just did the stereos because I don't really use monos with my keys. I don't. Anyway, but you can. Anyway, so you get that. All right, here, you ready, Sheridan? This is for you, baby. All right, so,
Yeah, man.
here for you. All right, so check it out. So stereo inputs. So this means We got our main input. The mains means 1 and 2 means anything that's going on in the keyboard is throwing it down as a stereo into input 1 and 2. So everything that's going on in the keyboard is going into the main. That's, if you want it, that's cool. Now, if we go into sub, maybe I'm running that backing track from something else, or whatever. I can record that sub out, too, in its own input. And we're going to do it in a second. And then maybe I want that organ separate. Look, it lives on 5 and 6. My V piano lives on 7 and 8. Separate. My EP, 9 and 10. Once again, this is audio over one USB-C. Next, we have synth A. It's on 11 and 12. Synth B. It's so much fun. 13, 14.
This is good.
And then say you got your phone hooked up or you got whatever other input. Maybe you got an old school whatever synth, and you want to run it in through Ableton, and like, how do I run it in? Well, just run it in through your V-Stage, in through that 1/4-inch input that I showed you. And then now you got that. And then let's say you're recording your tracks, and I know some of you guys are you maybe going to sing along, or really what's going to happen, you're going to tell them, here comes the bridge, boom, here comes the chorus, boom. You could be recording that as well, whatever you want.
So you can run your talkback mic into that situation as well.
100.
That's cold.
Oh, okay. That's cold, right? Yeah, I'm Phantoms do 32. Yeah. I think it's 32, and in the so this is cool. This is becoming not new for Roland. This is becoming like, this is what we do, and that's something that some of our competition does not do yet. Okay, so and we do it cheaper. So check this out. Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry.
You did it.
You did it. No one tell my mama. All right, here we go. Can't take it back. All right. Well, I'm just having fun. I love it. All right, cool. So here I got the session, and let's see. Look, there's the organ. Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn off the, and look, it's coming up number 1 and 2 because that's the main. It's coming up here. I'm gonna turn off the organ just from the top of the screen. Here's the piano. There it is. Cool. Here's the E piano. Cool. Here is synth 1 right here. Oops. There we go. Lot going on. Here we go. Synth 1 right there, and here is synth 2. Now check this out. Let's have some fun. I'm gonna flip it over to. I'm gonna go ahead and arm a lot of these tracks. Give me a second, because I got my keyboard, my QWERTY keyboard, in a weird spot. I'm gonna say let's arm all of these, right? And check this out. Let's see. All right. I don't have the mic hooked up, and let's hook up MIDI. Don't forget, we can also record the MIDI. So if you make any little flubs, or you want, or maybe after we're done recording, Sheridan goes, I don't like that EP that you use. That's not the right EPs. For all you that don't know, that means I could take that MIDI and say, let's try this sound. Let's try this sound.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm just trying to instruct our, the next gen. I want you guys to be.
We can set it up we can set it up for MIDI to be plugged in, or a MKS20 to be plugged in via MIDI.
100%. So
we'll talk about that in a minute.
We will, and so I'm going to flip it over to linear, and let me get rid of this. We don't need any of this. All right, so I'll go ahead, and I'm going to turn on I'm going to turn on organ. I'm going to turn on the piano. I'm going to turn on both synths. Okay, both synths are on. Okay, we're just going to record. I'm not really concerned, gentlemen, about a particular song or anything. We're just kind of like
just for showing the case, proof of concept.
Okay, cool. So we got it going. I don't even care about that. So it's all recording. So I can just. All right, it's still recording. I'm going to turn off that synth. I'm going to turn off everything except the organ. Okay, now I'm going to turn the piano on. I'm going to turn off the organ. Now we got piano. I'm going to go ahead and turn on that electric piano and keep the piano on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep those guys on. I'm going to turn on that second synth. I think it's a string-oriented. Oh, I don't like that. Let's go ahead and turn off that EP. Just keep the piano and that synth. All right, let's go ahead and turn off. See, so check it out what we just did that fast. that fast.
That's
This
wild.
it,
That's why. So let me jump in for a sec. So this is why to me this is super dope because you've been able to record with no matter what situation you can bring in all of the different sections into separate tracks. This is powerful to me because I'm thinking about like a couple of things. I'm thinking about live recordings, right?
yeah.
If you're a guy that does a lot of live recording, you're a live recording musician, and being able to have everything separate for recording, that means if I'm utilizing this board because you have the USB plugs in, so that and we got to get to that. The fact that you can plug in another board, another MIDI controller, have it over here. You could literally build an entire aux station, an entire mains plus aux station because I could put two boards over here, two MIDI controllers,
Yeah.
run my 2 cents, route them to that MIDI, right, to those two separate boards, right? I could do that, correct? If I want to do that. So I can route 2 cents, a lead, a pad right here, and then I can have the V stage in the middle as mains, right? And then maybe I got another one or a top for organ or something. We daisy chain and we figure out how to route all of that stuff. This is how my mind is going. And then we're able to now, as a player, doing aux, doing mains, all of that, all of those things are being recorded to separate channels. In addition to the MIDI as well. So when I come back for post-production, and mixing, I can send my engineer all of those separated stems basically from that recording plus the MIDI, and that gives us much more versatility and power for post-production and for mixing. Because as a mix engineer as well, because that's another hat that I wear, that's one of the things that drives me crazy when I get to certain when I get certain recordings is the fact that the piano and the pads and all of those things aren't separated. You know what I mean? Like I'll get a piano with the pad blended in and I'm hitting the keyboard player up and I'm saying, "Hey man, can you send me just the keys dry or whatever? Do you guys have the MIDI?" He's like, "Nah, bro, like that was how we recorded it." So to me, that's a game changing feature right there. The fact that everything is separate. I got multiple in and outs. I got multiple channels to shift everything. I just think that's just GOAT. And then for the price point and all that, I just think that's GOAT. And I'm not if you guys follow me, you know me, I'm an everything boy. I'm not a fanboy of you can see all of the stuff I got back here. I'm not gas on any company. I just think this is very interesting.
You know, let me just say, I don't think you need to apologize for liking Roland.
Of course you would say.
No, not at all. Not at
No,
all.
no, 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 no.
man.
No, that's dope.
No,
Yeah, I got
I'm-
what you're saying, though.
I'm saying because it's because historically we've been there and one of the mainstays of the gospel community is a Roland at MKS 20.
Yeah, no,
just
staple.
all these years. So
Staple,
So it's
staple.
a staple. So don't all you young cats don't have to shoot, man. Come to the dark side. We have cookies. You know. What I mean? So anyway,
Man, listen, I mean, I'm just saying. Can I tag on his point after you can go ahead?
Go ahead.
please tag
No,
him.
go ahead, Sheridan. And I'm marking, and just so you guys
so-
know, wait a minute. So just so you guys know, I'm marking some comments and some questions that you guys have in the comments. I'm marking
Yes,
those. So
please.
if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the comment because we're going to move to questions direct questions for Ed here in just a second. But I'm marking your
right.
questions. That's what I've been doing while these guys are talking.
Yeah.
So Ed brought about some good points, some good information regarding how that V stage works, how you can separate it in the production software in Ableton Live, all of that, and the outs. I mean that I don't think y'all understand how game changing that is. I actually did a session. Shout out to Mama Sue, Sue Roseberry, with my Phantom. Ed, I had to run stems for the session. We got sub outs on this baby. I'm a big nerd, so I hooked it up to my computer, and I had to play colors on the session. Well, I wanted to play my Phantom, but I had to monitor this, and I didn't want a bunch of junk on the stage. I'm about visual as well, so
Yeah.
I ran the stems through my Phantom via USB in my sub outs, so they played out of the sub outs, and the live production I played, the live colors that I played were coming out of channel 1 and 2. The other thing that I found, and this is with the Phantom as well as the Jupiter X and XM, And I see that they have it on the V-Stage, so I know it does it. Just because Roland is like that. They make boards with great technology, and they matriculate that among their other boards. The technology that the V-Stage has with the USB-C, it also has that with this Phantom. It also has that with this Jupiter. It has it with the Gaia. You can plug the Gaia up to your phone with the power cable, and you can run the whole thing. It's crazy. But with those USB-A ports on the back, let's say you have a MIDI board. I have a 32 key launch key, or 37 key launch key that I use. And if I'm playing, and I think John kind of made this point earlier, if I'm just playing something that's within the parameters of those 37 keys on organ, but I need to play my stage and I don't want it to mix and it's just a hit on organ, then I can run that USB from the USB-B to the USB-A in the V-Stage. Not only will it power the MIDI board, but it'll play that organ part, and you can use the drawbars for that if you have it on the right MIDI channel. And you can set that up. So you set up one station is MIDI channel 1, one station is MIDI channel 2, so on and so forth. So you have how many USB-A ports on the back of that too? So you can literally have 3 keyboards controlling the one keyboard, and even have the sub outs to play the different instruments as well. So essentially have 3 keyboards in one. It's crazy. How could you not love Roland, dude?
Well,
I'm just saying.
Let me shout out to Mike on this, because he's the one I first saw this back in the day. You could get a powered USB hub and plug into there, and then go a power USB and take more USBs into that one USB-A. So
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
20 plug 20 keyboards up to my Roland V-Stage, and here's what happened.
That's
Y'all get
funny.
ready for that video. Get ready for that video.
That's funny.
Well,
and we didn't even talk about
yeah.
the MIDI, the multiple MIDI outs. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's,
so when you talk about like competitors, there's no competition with that, because you can't really compete with that. That's game changing.
That's game changer.
and the you guys are you two gentlemen are very advanced, and I know we're trying to get the other cats, like this is stuff that you can use. What John was saying, how he could go ahead, and Sheridan was saying you could go ahead and have Ableton Live like a backing track, playing Ableton for the service, and you could be recording what you're playing so you get that live feel, and no one would even know you're recording. I don't know if cats really understand that. You could record the whole show you could be recording to Ableton in the background while you're performing, and then while you're switching scenes, because that's not affecting what's going on over there. So you could use all that, and the whole time, the V-Stage, the MIDI channel part, is recording all the MIDI.
That's crazy to me.
It's just
crazy.
it's and yeah, this is stuff at at NAMM and thank you guys for videoing at NAMM, where we had some great players on the stage. FYI, for all you guys that get on the stage with me at NAMM, if you get on the stage with me, I'm not just gonna let you play. I'm gonna put you to work. 'Cause that's why I was like, well, shoot. That's why on some of those cats, killer players. But I was like, well, shoot, I'm going to use you to do my demo because I'm tired. So
Today, I want to introduce to you Loop Elements Pro. This represents a very innovative new way of using loops. And guess what? It's standalone, not only as a plugin, but it's also standalone outside of the DAW, which means you can now use Loop Elements in your live performance. This isn't just a plugin. It's the ultimate tool for creatives and producers. Whether you're layering loops, creating click tracks, creating beats, building arrangements, soundscapes, Loop Elements Pro gives you the power to create without limits. Loop Elements Pro is now available. Go get it now.